What's up, guys? This is Taking the Field with Stevie Mac, episode 36 of the podcast, and I know I've been hammering you guys a lot with pro lacrosse content the past few months, but with the championship series now behind us, we can finally get back into some college football talk. And with this episode, the college football season, at least for the fall, is sort of in a way canceled because in the past few days the Big Ten and Pac-12, among other conferences, have announced that they have canceled the fall football season and pushed it to the spring of 2021 due to COVID-19 concerns. Other conferences, though, like the SEC, ACC, and Big 12, have said that they'll proceed with the fall schedule as planned, but the idea here is that they're going to play a conference-only schedule. And then teams like Notre Dame actually joined the ACC a few weeks ago in order to be able to play as part of that conference schedule with the ACC. So postponing the season, what it really means for the athletes and coaches is a couple things. First, it kind of throws off their timing of their routines with things like summer conditioning, fall camps, whatever it may be. And really the governing bodies such as their universities, the athletic conferences, the NCAA, and even their local state governments, the governing bodies really forced them into waiting around all summer to see if they'd even be playing in the fall, and told the players that if they did the right things and did what they were supposed to do, they would have their seasons. And really, they did what they were told and they did what they were supposed to do as far as we know, but they still seem to have lost out on their season. And what it really comes down to is that the players may have done their jobs and done what they were supposed to do in order to play this fall, but I think that we as a nation kind of failed them because the United States right now kind of seems like the spoiled brat who didn't get what they wanted, so they're just going to start complaining until they do get what they want. But the fact is, we didn't come together and do what we were supposed to do in order to limit the spread of COVID-19. We didn't social distance, we didn't wear masks, we didn't stay home unless it was totally necessary, and yet, even despite all that, we still believe we deserve college football when we did nothing to earn it. When we didn't do what we were supposed to do. It doesn't work that way. The reason European countries get to enjoy sports, and in some cases they get to do it in person, is because they did what they had to do in order for that to happen. It's their reward, and they should get to enjoy it. The U.S. doesn't get such reward because they haven't done that yet. They're not that far. So what will spring football look like in a few months? I think really it should start after the Super Bowl in early February and then go until sometime in April, since they will only be doing that conference only schedule, same as the teams that are committed to playing in the fall here. But that way, the players, whether they're going to the NFL or returning to campuses in 2021, they'll have that few months or so from, the end of April into May and even part of June possibly, where they can be able to recover before getting into their summer workouts, whichever way they end up going. Now, for a fall season, it is definitely going to be different than what we're used to for sure. And even if the SEC, ACC, and Big 12 play this fall, I don't think it's really the right idea to play a college football playoff series, since not every league will be represented this fall season. And I just think it wouldn't be right in that I think if you're going to have conferences playing in the spring, the NCAA needs to step in and make the other leagues kind of follow suit with that so there isn't this divide. But unfortunately, the NCAA has pretty much sat back and done nothing but watch, as we've all done for the past few months now. But the conferences are basically running themselves right now, and it's kind of every man for himself out there, and the NCAA has done and said nothing to take control of the situation, and there's really no uniformity to decision making, and there's really no mandates to anything. It's basically just pure chaos. And that's why a fall and spring season won't work, or a fall versus spring season won't work, I should say. And that if there continues to be this divide in fall versus spring, it'll likely impact recruiting at some point down the road, because if a recruit wants to take a visit to Michigan, let's say, for a game in the fall, they can't now because the Big Ten's not playing. But he can go to, let's say, Alabama and watch them play in the fall because, at least for right now, the SEC will be playing. So I think this will also cause a divide in recruiting as well off the field, because it'll put some teams further ahead than others in the recruiting cycles, essentially punishing the teams that opted for playing in the spring, which is, I think, at this point, what they should all be opting to do. So there's really a lot of things going on here. You know, this COVID-19 affects a lot in terms of the sports world and with college football especially, and it really raises more questions than answers. But it doesn't help when the NCAA has basically done nothing but sit on their hands and watch as all of this unfolds. And either way we get it, when football does come back, it's just a matter of how and when that happens. But I think before any of that can happen, I think that we as a nation need to do better and be better so that we can do the things that need to get done and stop complaining that we're not getting football and do the things that will get us football back so that we can then enjoy it and kind of move on with our lives and just get to better days ahead. So that'll do it for episode 36 of Taking the Field with Stevie Mac. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this post. You can also check out past episodes of the podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Podchaser by searching Taking the Field with Stevie Mac, and I'll talk to you guys later.